Hello, my name is Christine, and welcome to this video. Um, you saw the title, you clicked on it, and I'm gonna jump straight into the content. Now, when will Nigerians say enough is enough? I listen to Nigerian news daily, and I try not to daily because it really does impact my mental health because it's just so negative at the moment. There's rarely anything good coming out of the country. You see individual highlights, individual achievements, but as a whole, the country itself is going through so much. And it hurts and it breaks my heart because I am a Nigerian and the things that happened to Nigerians is dear to me. If I had the power to, I would, no Nigerian would suffer, but I'm just one person and I'm just using my voice here to speak because it's bothering me. And I just sat down and I said, when is enough enough? I've been on multiple platforms when people say, we need to do electoral reforms, we need to vote better, we need to hold INEC responsible, the judiciary is the problem of Nigeria. There's so many different bodies. Some people say the solution is too late. Nigeria is crumbled. We need to break up to save lives. We need to Yoruba nation or Dudawa. Everyone has their own way of solutions for Nigeria. But when is enough enough? When will we do something to make a positive move? When will we do something and live with the consequences of it? The difference between me or the because I'm going to put myself here, myself and the average corrupt Nigerian politician is that they make the moves. These guys don't just talk, they make the moves. They are in Abuja, they're in Aso Rock, signing those contracts, shaking hands with whoever they need to shake hands to secure their next tenant. They make the moves. We as the Nigerian people, we talk a lot. We come online, we talk to our family because I know I'm someone who as well who talks constantly to my husband and to people around me about all the issues in Nigeria. And I said to myself that when I'm in a position to, I'm gonna help. But what happens to the everyday Nigerian? When is enough enough? When are they going to say, I'm tired of being treated so poorly in my country? I'm tired of my taxpayers' money, my money being used to insult me, my money being used to fund the lifestyle of Nigerian politicians and their children, to pay for the wedding, to pay for the ashwabi of a prominent Nigerian. When is enough enough? Your kids deserve to be in good schools. You deserve to work and see the dividend of your hard work. You deserve to inherit a land that is rich with milk and honey. Nigeria is poor by design. And it is not poor for lack of resources. It's poor because we lack good governance. We lack good leaders. The inspiration for this video is a video I came across on YouTube where a guy, I'll link his video somewhere if I find it on YouTube, I'll link it down in the description, where he's a Nigerian who's lived in Europe about 15 years and he returned back to Nigeria and then he said in his own words that Nigeria hasn't changed. In fact, it seems to be getting worse. And it resonated with me. As a Nigerian who lives abroad but goes to Nigeria frequently, every time I go, I can see with my eyes that things are getting worse. It's not about building 50 kilometers of road and you say thumbs up, that's good. The To me, development is measured by the well-being of the individual Nigerian. How well a Nigerian is doing. That is how I measure well-being in Nigeria. How easy is it to feed? How easy is it to access electricity? I'm fortunate enough to even stay in one of the good parts of Lagos. And even then, the estate had to bargain with the electricity disco to get steady electricity at a higher tariff. Fast forward to 2025, the electricity we're getting is less than what we used to get before, but we're still paying the high tariffs. We complain, nothing gets done. And that's what happens in Nigeria. We complain, but nothing happens. Nigeria is getting worse. It is degrading. It is deteriorating at an alarming rate. There's so many predictions on what Nigeria will look like in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And can you believe that the leaders that we have are more concerned about securing the Senate seat? They're more concerned with optics. They're more concerned with securing the Muslim vote, securing the Eastern vote, securing the South vote. Nigerians are dying. Why is that not the concern of our leaders? And I don't have a solution to any of these. This is just me rambling. I'm just me talking. But when is enough enough? When will Nigerians take matters into their own hands and say, I am tired of this? We are doing it in our own ways, in little ways. For example, the concept of gated estates. That's a way of Nigerians taking control back, where they provide practically everything for themselves. The estate management or the estates provide electricity, they provide water, they provide drainage, and then they rely on the government for things like waste collection and just general area security. That's in a way governing themselves. We have self sufficient estates that operate. But the thing is, the Nigerian factor will always be there. How do we replicate this on a larger scale? Because Nigeria is a place where if I have an issue, if I have a problem, I go to the police station. The police may report the crime, may not, may take it up, may not, but they will judge you and look at it that can you afford to handle this case? Nigeria is a country where you can be walking down the road to tomorrow and a disaster happens, you witness a crime or you witness something bad happening, and it's just trauma to you, but nothing gets resolved. You're looking for the nearest hospitals. There's gridlock on the other side of the road because of traffic, because of bad roads. There's so many crazy things that happen, but they are normalized in Nigeria. So I say to the Nigerian citizens, when is enough? Some of us can jackpot, some of us can jackpot. Nigerians are doing well individually, but as a collective, I am tired of seeing Nigerians dying. I'll tell you a story. I was in Nigeria recently, and I was leaving my estate with my brother and my husband in the car, and there was a woman that was crying on the road. And I'm telling you, it is hot. This is a very, very, very hot day. Even in the car with the AC on, I'm waiting for the AC to take effect. And we see this lady and we roll down. We ask her, how far, madam? Anything? And she's crying. She is weeping. She is red from tears. I have never in my life witnessed somebody, a grown person, crying, shedding so much tears. She came from the gynecologist, and they told her that they had to dismiss her because she didn't have money to pay. And she came to that particular locale because somebody had promised her money so that she can go and make a deposit in with the gynecologist. But that person unfortunately disappointed. So this is her heavily pregnant with no help. And to the glory of God, we were in a position to help her out to that on that day, and we left. But till today, I think of that because I say, how many women, how many people in Nigeria are that woman? They are suffering, and this woman pays taxes in one way or another. She might be a trader, she might be, whatever it is. She might be a tailor, she might be an artisan, she might be a domestic staff. She's paying her taxes. Where is the relief? Every day, Nigerians are paying for things that the government should provide them. And it's saddening. But I'm like, when does it end? They tell you run for office when you know you're going to be rigged out of office. Now we are in a situation in Nigeria where it's not even about running for office. It's not even about being popular. It's about grabbing it. It's about being the person with the most money in your account. With money in Nigeria, all things are possible. You can win clearly. You can see victory, and somebody will just go to court and get a different ruling. That is the Nigeria we're in. There needs to be consequences for actions. The reason why so many of these crimes get perpetrated and keep repeating themselves is because there are no consequences to actions. I give you another example. I have a building project in an estate somewhere. Long story short, some people came in, vandalized, and had access to the borehole water system that we have in place. When we caught the person, initially the workers of the person who did the crime was shouting, ah, no, 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 no. It's not done. Why? When we got to the bottom of it, the what the workers boss apologized, was begging, oh, they're sorry, and we forgave and we moved on. Fast forward to 2025, an incident that is currently ongoing occurred where the same property in question, some people came and they burgled, and now we're going back and forth. And I think to myself that, did I bring this on because at the time I didn't report the crime? The estate said they will handle it and everything was resolved. But if there were consequences, a lot of these things that have happened to us who are building will not happen. And other people in the estates who have had similar experiences where people have gone into their compound, they've stolen from them, staff are stolen, and they say, oh, they blame it on workers. Sometimes some people say it's just passerbys, people walking around, crimes of opportunity. But I said to the head of security of the estate, that when there are no consequences for crimes, there's no deterrent. It will keep happening. And so the last thing I want to leave Nigerians with on this video is, what are the consequences to bad behavior in Nigeria? What are the active consequences to bad behavior in Nigeria? As a politician, if a politician is messing up, if a judge doesn't pass a good judgment or is interpreting the law the way they want to, if a workplace is underpaying staff, abusing staff, maltreating staff, if a government official is abusing the power that they have, is making life difficult, if a bank is overcharging you, taking money, debiting your account without any records, without any explanations, if a restaurant is serving you bad food, if you go to a supermarket and they're selling you expired goods, the examples and the possibilities are endless. What are the consequences of this? Bad actions and bad things happening, crime, illegality in the country of Nigeria needs to be punished. There needs to be consequences. When there is consequences for bad behavior, I tell you, most of the problems that we have will not happen. So that's why I say, when is enough enough for Nigerians?